Good morning from Crestone, Colorado. Good morning from the cloud. I want to start the day right, but starting the day right is not podcasting in that room. I don't have to call it racism per se, but I'm grounded in the reality of the what is. And yeah, whoops, whoops. And I am back in Crestone after they had their little festival. So I'm here with the intention of tapping into the ley line energies. I always am. And I know that negativity and arguments and things of that nature, um, it's easy for me to drop my frequency or for people to drop my frequency. It's common for people to try to drop my frequency. It's not common for people to try to raise my frequency. Okay, I'm going to take it off the door there. So I'm at the cloud station where I've done a fair amount of podcasts and blogging, and now I'm choosing to sort of like avoid them and avoid townspeople, even though I'm lonely. But for me to come back here to ground and breathe and listen to some music and not make unhealthy eye contact, that's a good thing for them to see me here acting normal. Well, you know what? We're not in normal times. And I've really grown out my beard in a period in time in which Muslims are being hunted in America and in Europe. And you don't have a truther movement discussing this. So I'm a ballsy man. Your world's so insane, it doesn't give me credit. And it's really messed up that I don't have any white friends, despite everything that I've done for the white homeless. So I see them as demons now. Demons. I watch how people fly away from my channel real quick when I call it out for what it is. But you don't ever see me calling for the death of the Jews. Ever. Or white people or anybody. You don't hold me by the same standard that you hold Bob do or Bill or whoever else you hang out with. So I don't even know who's my friend anymore because I've talked to millions of people. Some of you just found this channel possibly by accident. Who knows? But there are people out there that have gone out of their way to stop me from speaking for a reason. I'm a powerful person. I'm a powerful influencer, not the traditional, social media type of description of influencer, but I'm an influencer. Once I have somebody's here, once I have somebody listening, I can, to a certain degree, effectively deprogram them if they're able to. If they're actually not able to and they're dedicated to the cause, whatever the cause may be, and they don't realize it, the energy that has a hold of them, entities, or just their own stuck nature. Sometimes we just simply call that being stubborn. Their own thought forms will hold them in place and they will maintain a level of ignorance. Now, here in this town, they seem to have marginalized me real quick as somebody who might like target children or something, and I really don't take kindly to that. I'm offended by that. So I'm going out of my way to walk a straight line. Okay, if there's the potential of something getting loud, if I can pick myself up and walk away and go somewhere else, then I'll go somewhere else. So what I did is I left for 10 days and I've now been back for 2. And then as I look over here, I was told that um, there may be some yurts for sale and, for rent. And it's getting colder. It's getting colder. And I don't always like sleeping up there in that spot. What I can say is I really kicked off in the imagination the idea of there's an X in the sky over there. The idea of collective meditation, and no one unsubscribed from my newsletter. But I also realize that some of the people that I am reaching out to, that I want to participate with me on the newsletter, they don't necessarily feel called to help me. Why? It's possible that some of the stuff that I'm talking about applies to them, and it's just too much. A little goes a long way when it comes to my content. I'm confronting a lot of different lies, folks, in our society and in our world. And so it's a learned experience. I come in here with the intention of tapping into some positive energy today. And, so far so good at the cloud, although I feel like I wish I shaved. But, it's just weird that I live in a world where my beard causes alarm, but their beards do not. You know what I'm saying? So, I just, when the Irish guy was like kind of arguing that maybe Aurora and the others were right, that Hitler was a light worker, and they're, basically talking like that, being a devil's advocate. Or another guy that I knew in the past, he would promote guys on BitChute that were doing Holocaust denial. It'd be one thing if they were doing like rational studies and they were looking for the truth. They're just pushing hatred along with their audience of people that are different. They have no credibility. People that call people shit skins have zero credibility. So I'm going through this period in time where I'm watching my predictions go live, and I'm seeing nobody in my corner, no real truthers, no truther channels that I know of. Do you know of? Where they're showing human compassion and they're going, folks, we're better than this. This is isn't this what we accuse the enemy of? This isn't no they're actually going, "Well, we have to do this. We have to drive them out. We have to use violence because they're invading us." They do not understand immigration, migration, staged events. They think the people behind immigration are their friends or like these people or like migrants or are trying to help when that's not true at all. It's human trafficking. The right wing is always lying, and American conspiracy theorists, they are always lying about the left being loving. They're always making these allegations that the migrants are so cared for. That's why people that are fake truthers, they have no idea what it's like to be in a brown body in America, and they don't want to know. They don't want to know me, and they don't want to know. They don't want to know me, and they don't want to know. As a result of them not wanting to know me, their life actually stays in shit, but they can't see it that way. They don't see the value that I have with two of us come together, three of us come together. Dude, we're not just a gang. We're a force to be reckoned with. They don't understand that. They don't get that. They're the ones who don't like other people. I like people. I like coffee. I like the idea of multiple truthers sitting at the table doing a round table. The idea of one person who just wants to be by himself, who actually has flawed thinking, who likes the president. Those are crazy people who I can't watch anymore because I lose faith in humanity. Then there'll be other people like, oh, this person's great. This person's great. This person's a great YouTuber. Why are they ignoring what's happening in Europe, in Ireland, especially when their genetics are from there? Why are they unable to call out their own people unless they agree with them that it's okay to invade the homes of migrants, to grab the woman by her hair? Because that's obviously what's going on, isn't it? If somebody is pretending to be a truther and they're on the internet and they can't talk about people's homes being invaded, they're lost, man. There's just another mentally ill schizophrenic who found their way to YouTube. And you got to like take that into account. There's a lot of people with untreated mental illnesses that are not prophets, that are not psychics, who do not believe that all lives matter. And they are like popular chickens with their heads cut off all over the fucking internet. And it's disgusting. Lonnie said hi to me today. He is associated with the business over here, and maybe his wife on Facebook shared with him my videos. And I'm like, dude, you put a picture of your business in the music video to kind of create the imagination in the mind's eye that we can do this. And so I can talk about a couple other negative situations as far as conversation, but the main point here, either online or in real life, the main point here is that those few of you that are here, which are hardly any, and this channel's been around for months. We have two regular viewers. The others are like, I'm not listening to this. He's going in that direction where we don't want. What also makes sense that they wouldn't want to listen until we get away from the eclipse period. Because as long as we're in that eclipse period, that racial energy of being kind of horrified by what I'm saying, it's very long lasting. So if I keep talking, I'm going to drain myself of energy. So I'm here today basically to have a cup of coffee, to wake up a little bit, and then to remove my energy from this place, but then possibly at some point to start writing again, and to uproot myself from the situation. So let me get myself back on track and actually bring myself a little bit of music, like the actual song "Right on Track" from the Breakfast Club. I think not so much the movie, but the group Breakfast Club. Now, how many times do you look at the YouTube? Now, to reply to this headline, start building community because reasons. Yeah, but you can't build community with somebody who says those lives don't matter. We only care about these lives. That's not a truther. That's a person who's not honest about wanting an ethnostate. And that's what's so crazy about these folks is they'll criticize the Nazis while not seeing that programming within culture that's mainstream to not care about other people. It won't click with them. It will never, never click with them. And that's actually where a lot of people are on the left, seeing them as separate from Donald Trump, separate from all those things, but actually being another version of it. So let's talk about the angel numbers or angel letters of DFW, of Donald J. Trump, and January 6th, because it looks like it's reading out to be Donald J. Trump. Well, today is the 18th day of August in the year 2026. And essentially, what we're dealing with today, go ahead and bring up some tunes here for my headphones, helps me focus. It's like we're seeing another January 6th with guess who? John Lang. He was pardoned by Donald Trump, who was part of January 6th, which was a government operation. And here's John Lang in Michigan rallying the troops, the so called Christians, to attack Muslims. Now it's in the news, and it's being admitted that Facebook is calling for violence against Muslim Americans. And so today I got to get together. I just want to start slapping my face. I'm getting ready to fight Mike Tyson. When you are homeless and you're a reporter and you're a magician and you don't have one single supposed man to talk to about fighting violence against women, it is you against the world. It is me against all of you. Each and every one of you. It is me against the world. And the knowledge of this is freeing. When you know that the world is a lie and that people are lying, you can be set free when you see people as they are. Of course, my own mother wouldn't click on that link on the Substack post over at coloradotravels.substack.com. And how many of you have gone over to Substack to actually read what I'm saying or read what I'm writing and spend 15 minutes, 20 minutes? Likely you haven't, and you should. And that's why the people that are going to work with me on the meditation side of things, they're over at Substack because they're readers. They're journalists. They're spiritual teachers. Here on YouTube, it oftentimes is like looking for, something to eat out of a toilet bowl. Makes no sense. It's a toilet bowl. So keep that in mind as you live your life on YouTube and wonder why your life is shit. You need to go off the grid. You need to find other people. But if you're going to lie about wanting to keep your whole reality white, you don't understand that you've become your own worst enemy. And so many of you are.